Well, I'd say there's two things. One is I'm with you on how important free speech is. Like the next generation needs to know and understand that. One of the most scary things that I hear is when there's this lunatic concept that like, oh, the First Amendment doesn't cover hate speech, which is like not remotely true and also really dangerous, right? Like this idea that we could, remove people's YouTube channels or remove them because you can call something hate speech. It's quite dangerous. But speaking of YouTube channels and speaking of new media, I actually think the fact that you and I have had a conversation that lasts for an hour is part of the solution. It's not the whole solution, but the fact that so many Americans are turning off CNN and like legacy media and seeking information elsewhere. And it's a bit chaotic out there because there's a lot of misinformation. You just mentioned Ukraine. I've read, this many soldiers died on Snake Island. This many soldiers were captured on Snake Island. It's like you can feel the propaganda coming at you from each way, and you don't know what to believe when you're getting those. War is chaotic, and you're getting waves of information that that you don't know what's trusted. But I don't think, I'll turn on CNN to figure out what's really going on, because I don't trust that I'm not going to get more propaganda of some form. So I think creating new media outlets and new ways to disseminate information is super important. Having trusted voices, I'm more likely to read a Substack of an investigative journalist that I trust and that I think is a credible source to get information. It's not the same as nightly news. I'd love to have a nightly news program that I turned on and thought like, oh, they're going to tell it to me straight. But I tend to seek out voices, and whether it's on Substack or whether it's on Twitter or whether it's, a podcast that's credible to me. And I think lots of Americans are doing that. And it's both a little scary because it's very fractured and people wind up in their echo chambers but it's also the path forward where people say, I need reliable information and I need thoughtful conversation and information. And so I think that what we're doing now, which is talking to each other and having intelligent conversation, it is part of the path forward. How that shakes out the people who are in the business of media, how that shakes out, and how as Joe Rogan's platform explodes and MSNBC and CNN shrink, someone's going to have to come along and figure out how to make a TV program that interests people as much as long form podcasts seem to be interesting people these days. And that's not my job, and I'm not going to be the one to do that. But someone's going to come along to figure out how to, take new media to the next level, because people are looking for it, right? And in a supply and demand society, like there's a lot of people demanding better and different alternatives for how they get their information. And I think that's part of the solution to keeping America great in all the ways that we are a great and wonderful and amazing nation, a nation that people want to come to. And also, fending off the things that you and I are both worried about.
Yeah.